Good guys, my name is Lord Tomo. We're going to begin to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collector review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo with the good old blues team, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's been a while since I reviewed, it's partly because I picked up a new job and I've been focusing on that to basically, you know, make a career out of it of sorts. But I am back. I will be reviewing more. I've been getting a few requests to get Blaze the Cat review. I will do it, of course, in the future once I receive it. I haven't received it. I have ordered it, but I haven't received it yet. When I do, I will review it. But let's get into the other plush lines because this is absolutely adorable. And I have it in my collection, and there are so many pluses with this that I don't think there's real any negatives to it. Of course, there is one or two negatives I will mention, of course. I wouldn't say negatives per se. It's more noticeable things that I picked up that kind of make me off-putted. Anyway, this is a chao. For those who may or may not know, it first appeared in Sonic Adventure series and essentially is, to an extent, just a water droplet of sorts. They do play around with it in the Sonic Adventure game, in that, you know, they're spiritual little flying creatures of sorts, lovable creatures. And of course you could create your own in Sonic Adventure 2 in terms of morphing to the hero side, dark side, or neutral side. This is a basic neutral chao, or basic chao, depending on who you really speak to. I'm calling it a basic neutral chao because it has no direct affiliation to either dark side or hero side, or even to a more neutral aspect when it evolves. This is just the very basic one. Now, of course, you have his big bubbly head, which resembles that of a water droplet, which I thought is pretty awesome. You have his two eyes and his mouth. Now, this is something that I'd say it's a slight criticism of sort. Now, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm seeing something that I shouldn't be seeing. But look at his face. His face looks off. I don't know what it is. Now, I do have another chao, which was a fairly expensive one, which was released for the Sonic Adventure series way back in the 90s, which really encapsulates how great a chao looks like. That being said, that one had kind of like button eyes, whereby these ones are just literally iron pressed eyes and iron pressed mouth of an actual image. It does work, it does make it look like a chao, but it doesn't have that cuteness that the other chaos plushies that I have. Now, it's not a bad one, it's just, well, doesn't look 100%, you know what I mean? Like I said, maybe I'm looking into it, maybe it's more to that, I don't know. Now, you do have, of course, tiddly bits, which is yellow on the top of the heads, the hands, and of course the feet. And if you look at the back of the tail, just at the back of the tail. Now, one of the hardest things with creating this chao is the actual yellow bits, or in any chaos really, but in this case the yellow bits are meant to be seamless. They're meant to blend in with the blue and vice versa. Now, as you can see in the actual hashtag right there. Now, it's pretty hard to really translate that into an actual physical plush. Now, you could do it with a statue, you can do it with a figurine, a hard figurine, but when it comes to soft, you know, soft plushes, it's pretty hard. It is possible, but I would imagine the cost prices will go up. So the way it looks now, it is what it is, and for its price tag, I think it's completely worth it and justifiable in every conceivable way. That because it has one other feature which I will get into later, which justifies the price and its actual design as a whole. Now, with most of the actual plushes of the GE, which I need to add, this is created by none other than Great Eastern Entertainment. I really love that company, to be honest. Is with all the plushes, as far as I could tell, and the far as I have, come with a string where you can actually hang it on a roof or wall, whatever you may desire. Now, for those who know, these little plushes have kind of like not plushes, but the chaos actually have like a little bubbly, like circle thing on top of its head. Of course, if it's a hero, it's got a cylinder. It's got a halo, and vice versa with that of a dark chao. And they actually connected that to the actual string, which actually gives the illusion that it's bubbling. And you know what? I thought that was pretty impressive. You know, a basic design choice really translated well across to the actual plush. I thought this was great. You have, of course, these two little hands, extremely well stuffed. The whole plush itself is extremely well stuffed and is very stocky, as in you won't find any loose pieces and whatnot, which I thought is an absolute A+. Now, the hands don't have real much articulation. They are held by like a little string of sorts, not a string but like sewing thread, which goes to the hand to the actual heads and vice versa. So it's pretty much stationed. You don't need to remove it for articulation. There's no point for it. It's a standstill kind of, you know, chao as it is. It's got a big fat belly, awesome, and it's got like little stocky feet, which is actually awesome. And if you look at the bottom, it's kind of got like a hard cardboard piece, which gives it a flat surface. Unfortunately, my chao does not stand on its own merit. It needs to have something leaned against it, as you can probably tell by the angle. I don't mind it. It's perfectly okay. At the actual back, you have, of course, these little wings, and they are connected to the actual head using thread as well. Nothing wrong with it. You don't need to remove it for articulation. There's no real point. Of course, you have its little tail, absolutely cute, absolutely adorable in every conceivable way. So the plush itself is 100% awesome. Just the face, I don't know what it is. It's off-putting of sorts. Now there is a few more bonuses which I thought is awesome. Being such a small plush itself, the hashtag is in the back of the head. Great design choice. I thought it was superb, and for once, absolutely once, I think I know why they did it, obviously not because of my feedback, but the actual hashtag is that of a chao, which is Sonic Adventure plush, and it's got a chao. Now, unlike the other characters, which, let's be honest, they're not well known in the mainstream. If you played a few of the games of the Sonic games, you can pick up, you know, Vector, Espio, and all that sort of stuff. But in this situation, everybody knows Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and everybody knows a chao. It's basic knowledge. If you don't really know much about games. And the fact is, that's why they probably put the picture of a chao instead of that of a, you know, standard picture of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, if you do a side-by-side comparison, this chao looks more, you know, happy-ish. Kind of looks stupid, but it looks more happy. And this one just looks like he's been through Dr. Robotnik's lab and he's been mentally sabotaged somehow. He's like, I've seen things that nobody has. I thought it was pretty awesome. So overall, this plush is pretty well awesome in its design choice and whatnot, besides obviously just its face. There is one major bonus to this, one major plus, which made me go, oh wow, they really thought this out. And if you actually played the Sonic Adventure game, you know that the actual chao is small in comparison to every other character, Sonic, Knuckles, Robotnik, you name it. To draw a comparison, if you ever played the original Sonic Adventure game, you have, of course, Chaos. And there was a scene where all the chao start dancing around. I thought this was absolutely great, because in comparison, it actually makes sense. Now, some of the other Sonic chaos that I do have, they're massive, like they're pretty much the size of this, and it doesn't do comparison. It doesn't do one its comparison. And the fact that GE Entertainment have gone out of the way to actually make it size comparable. So if you have the whole collection of the GE plush lines, it is well proportioned and well designed and well sculpted. Well, I guess you could say, through the actual character roster, which I thought is absolutely awesome. Great that they actually made it small, so you can, if you want, you can purchase a few and make them dance around, which I thought is great. I love this plush as well. Now, that being said, let's talk about price. Focus. The price I got this for was $10. I think it's quite reasonable, to be honest. I wouldn't pay more than that, to be honest. Of course, if you ever become super rare down the track, that's subject to the individual, but $10 is pretty alright. I had to buy this off eBay because Australia doesn't like Sonic. Why? I don't know. It is what it is. And the only small criticism I have, if at any, is besides the fact that the face looks a bit, you know, demented, I would love to have more variations of the chao. May there be a hero chao, a dark chao, various incarnations of the neutral chaos and whatnot, just to make it look so much great when pretty much placed against, you know, the other characters. I thought just having a basic one, which is extremely welcomed and I absolutely love, I would have preferred the other characters. Rarity, look, 1 star out of 10. I still see them pop up every now and then. Pick it up if you have the other characters, the other GE characters. Great Eastern Entertainment is the manufacturer that made this superb company. Pick it up if you have the other characters. If you don't, it's a hard sell to buy this by itself. For display purposes and also for individual purposes, I'll say. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts on this. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it something you would purchase? I think it's very well designed. And Great Eastern Entertainment, Great job. Anyway guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Speed on, take care, and remember to stay tuned.